When I was 16, I went to an entrepreneurship camp at Stanford, and my role was to lead a startup. I was given the title of CEO, and my job was to lead a bunch of other 16-year-old kids on how to build a startup so that we could pitch to actual investors. The books we were given were the typical books that you would expect: The Lean Startup, The Startup Founder's Handbook, and all these other business books that talked about the theory of how to build a startup without really talking about the struggles. Like, what do you do when no one listens to you? What do you do when you feel like you're losing control of the startup and you have no direction whatsoever? And that was the situation I was in. I had a team of 16-year-old kids who were not listening to what I was saying. I had read those books that were given to us. I knew the theory, but I did not know the practice. So in retrospect, I had no idea what I was doing, and that was because I didn't have the proper mentorship, the proper coverage of what it was really like to run a startup. I had the technical abilities, or at least some technical ability, based on the books that I had read and the lectures I had attended at the Stanford Business School as part of the program, but I had no idea how to deal with these emotional struggles that came from arguing with my teammates, with deciding on a product direction and not having to debate every single person who would come up with some sort of rebuttal to my direction. I had no idea how to trust my teammates, and it was probably because I just didn't really know about the realities of building a startup. Of course, you can say that there are books out there that talk about the emotional struggles of building a startup, like The Hard Thing About Hard Things by Ben Horowitz, the legendary venture capitalist. But I don't think there's enough of a focus on what people are currently going through. I wanted to hear from people who are still going through the struggles of building a startup and could talk about these issues and not just talk about them in retrospect. No, I wanted to hear from people who are actually going through that process. That's why I've decided to switch a lot of my videos to just talking about the realities of building a startup, which was actually the point of this channel in the first place. The point of this channel was to show you guys the process of building a startup, the journey, the struggle, the many different little things that go into building a successful product. Right now I'm working on a startup called Picky, which is right now a map that shows you restaurant recommendations from IG foodies and Reddit foodies. So having worked on this for around 6 months now, I've realized that there are just all these issues, all these little things that I come across on a daily basis. All these challenges, like for instance the database breaking down, or the database not accommodating the data that we wanted to accommodate, or the front end breaking down, the little aspects of JavaScript that we have to deal with in order to make sure we expedite the uploading of data for this application we're building. Like, all these little things, these are real things that come up in the startup building process. That's what I'm talking about. That's not talked about enough. There's not enough of a coverage on these challenges that are not of a cookie cutter nature. There's just so much more than just, oh, let's just test a bunch of assumptions, build a bunch of features, and then repeat the process until we get to product market fit. There's so much more than that. There's so much more. It's literally this never-ending process of having to figure out all these kinds of different challenges that you won't even be able to anticipate. But I want to show that it's okay. It's okay to have these challenges. It's okay to feel like you're overwhelmed, feel like you're under-equipped to solve certain challenges. And this is the kind of community I want to create. If you're trying to build something and you don't know how to solve something, the best thing that I have found to be the way to go and find a solution is to go and ask people who have been in those situations, or ask people who you think have been in the situation that you're in. And if not, to ask people who you think would have a good solution to your problem. And I want to build this kind of community around my channel. A community where builders can just come and ask all kinds of questions, to group all these people together so that they can help each other out, so they can all build tech like I am doing. Build tech, or maybe you're not building tech, building some sort of side project that ultimately is something of their own. And there is no greater pleasure when it comes to work than being able to build something of your own. So that's the kind of community I want to create around my channel. A place where people can ask questions about challenges that they're currently facing when trying to build something of their own. So that's all for this video. I just wanted to tell you guys about the realities of building a startup. And to give you guys a better understanding of what kind of direction I'm going in with this channel, the focus will be to create a community around people who are building things so that they can have a place to ask questions and be vulnerable. That's the point of this channel, to create a community of that sort. That's all for this video. If you liked this video, don't forget to hit the like button because it definitely helps with my channel growth and definitely gets the word out there that there is a place where you can openly express the concerns you're currently having with your side project or with your startup. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to hit subscribe. So that's all for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.